Tina, is there any way you can get in touch with Tug?
Have you communicated with a social media user who goes by the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY?
I've had several phone calls with the person who goes by the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I don't actually know his real name.
Unfortunately, every time I make a call, it becomes content for them.
Help! I've been tossed overboard.
I'll have to bill you extra for my time.
Welcome to the show. You look incredible, like a dessert that owns a yacht.
That's exactly the vibe I was going for. You know, sweet but slightly out of your tax bracket.
Mission accomplished. How does one even shop for a suit when you're...
Gold on my neck, gold on my hand, purple with the stripes, that's the walk of a man. Sidewalk shining, city lights humming, every step I take they know a boss.
Blazing the whip, gotta vanquish the needs. My kingdom for some poppy seeds. Yo, yo. Is that a poppy seed? You realize I'm your P.O., right? Straight to booking.
Was barking on the phone, all that tough talk threatened. Now you looking at the floor like judge, I'm just stressing.
Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yeah!
Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
name on signs, now you don't wanna speak. 14 racks just to shift that blame. Bought an expert just to say my name. 14 bands, that's some expensive PR. Got channel success, yeah, I sell the best. Got Preston and compressed. Promise the barn, promise the bitch. And good lord, have you seen that fence? 14 grand for an expert witness. Pick one course, keep saying I ain't handling business. Says that's my writing. Man, that's cute. Spent $14,000. I still got the proof. Best look like shredded cheese nailed on the sticks. Garbage bag top just flapping in the wind. Garbage man quit, took up piracy. Captain Hefty selling the SS Swiss cheese. And what's up with with those ED signs, John? Where's the barn? Don't know. Where's the stain? Don't know. Seriously, where's the barn though? Where'd it go? 56 green. Poof. Now you see it. Now you don't. That's one heck of a magic show. Straight out of Creek. Put my name on signs. Now you don't wanna speak. 14 racks just to shift that blame. Bought an expert just to say my name. 14 bands, that's some expensive PR. Got channel success, got receipts in the street. Captain Hefty selling on the Essex Swiss cheese. Promised the barn, still ain't on the bench, but they got an expert in a shredded cheese fence. Straight out of Creek. Matey!
All right. What's up, folks? How you going? Yeah, I'd heard yesterday from a very, very valid source that Jeremy Hales had started his rapping career in Otter Creek. So today I was looking around, and lo and behold, I did fine. That was a little Jeremy, a little Otter Creek, straight out of Otter Creek. Yeah, boy, that was some good stuff. Now that was back when he had less rings, you know. Yeah, no, that wasn't bad. Actually, what was amazing is that was a pretty good song, to be honest. I kind of like that song, to be honest. If I would have had more time, I would have. I probably could have found some more footage. But yeah, I found a whole album, actually, that was created back when. Whew, little Jeremy, man. I didn't know he was such a good freaking rapper. Straight out of Otter Creek. Oh my, that was really good. How's it going, folks? Hope you're having a great day, by the way. I hope everything is going fantastic for you on this wonderful, blunderful Saturday. Lord, you know it's a pretty good day when you entertain yourself, right? You should see some of the images that were created for Straight Out of Otter Creek. Look, that's actually his album name. Check this out. Let's try to see some stuff here. Check this out. Look at him there. I like his grill. I like that he's got a gold grill in his mouth. I like his little dance too. Straight Out of Otter Creek, yeah. The one thing I can say that's great though, in having a mask on when I do stuff like with my avatar, is I don't have to worry about the mouth at all. There is no timing issue. The funny thing is, if you notice, by really random coincidence, if you notice at the beginning of that, I'm going to turn it back on for a second. If you notice with Straight Out of Otter Creek, the timing is exactly right. That's exactly what his mouth says. So it was just really random AI thing, and it didn't know what it was saying or anything because I make the movement with a different program. But watch, the mouth movement lines up perfectly. Watch this. I'll turn it back off after that. But watch this.
Straight out of Otter Creek. Woo!
See, his mouth moves with it. Oh my, that's beautiful. I love the little dancing Jeremy there. It's really funny. Oh man, but yeah, look at that grill. Oh, he looks good with that grill, and he's more. What's funny is I took that picture that I like playing around with. Let's see, this one right here, and AI'd it out. Check this out. So that's actually, I took that picture and I AI'd it up. So I just tell it like, hey, making a rapper out of him. And that's what it started to make. Oh, Lord. It's perfect, though. I love it. Straight Out of Otter Creek. Now, the song took a few minutes. Yeah, the teeth are awesome. He's got gold caps on his teeth. Oh, man. Like I said, I hope everybody is doing fantastic today. It has been a pretty interesting day. You know, one thing I found out over the day is that these people are terrified of Megan Fox traveling. It's so strange. I mean, they're horrified by the idea. You had You had 2 L. I mean, flip out about it yesterday. Check this out. I'm not even kidding. Look at the first line of this post, this community post here. It's like, oh no, Fox not threatens to travel after calling out for people in my county to run to the courts with cash for her. Wait, what? What does that mean? Now, yeah, she apparently isn't supposed to travel. I'm not sure if she's aware of that. I didn't know there was a court order against that. So she actually is traveling. It's crazy. Look, check this out. She posted this. She was like, flying the friendly skies. Where am I going? Can't tell. But there is tea. The question is, where can I spill it? Look, oh no, she's drinking tea too. Holy crap. I wonder what's going on. I mean, these people are, it's so strange. Like they're terrified that she's traveling. Oh, Lord. It's been a really good week. It's been a really funny one so far. It's actually been, there's some serious red glass. I know they are. There are some serious red glasses for sure. I'd wear some of those, but if I put them on my face, somebody would think I'm on crack or something. Actually, they probably think that I'm a Sumter County resident. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? Oh, man, I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, one thing it's taught us, if nothing else, is the fact that the bankruptcy mess is really getting nasty. It's getting ugly. Between the two things that have been really, I guess, headline grabbing, we've had two major, I'm going to say, document editions. Between those two, we've actually, I think it's daring a judge to say, hey, these people are not going to cooperate in any way, shape, or form. And if a judge starts to think that's a real problem. And I think they already had the opinion, the prior judge did. Now, one thing that I really thought would be fun to go over, since we didn't get to, actually, there's two things I'd like to go over with that. I'd like to go over, number one, the flea. Oh man, that whole filing is pretty amazing. It's amazing for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is amazing because, well, it's just chock full of stupid. But number two, it's also amazing because it makes the argument that that Miss Fox would make when they start talking about whether or not she is actually allowed to talk about them. They're yelling about journalistic privilege and things that they're supposed to be allowed to do. Yeah. Now, the other one that we really didn't get to look at, but I think you all would enjoy because it's out there now, is it's the Randy filing. We looked at the first pages, but there were 8 items that were added to it, and they're pieces of the depot. Pieces that weren't out there before, pieces that weren't available to the public. And let me grab something. I'm standing up. If I sound distant, I will get undistant real quick. Just give me a second. I left something across the room. I left my water across the room. I just noticed. Sorry about that. I hate it when I'm getting ready for stuff. I had the girls today. They've been bothering me all week about they have this place they like to go eat. It's called Bosky's, but it's taking us all there is like, God, it costs like about $25 a person, which I'm like, I'm not going there very often. Again, that's not crazy or anything, but I'd rather, for me, man, I'll eat like a bologna and cheese sandwich and be good at home. You know what I mean? I try to eat on like $50 a week for myself. It's pretty cheap, but that's like half my food budget for myself, not for them. They go wide open, but so I eat pretty cheap. But anyway, they woke me up this morning, first thing, and they were like, "Dad, can we go over to the place called Bosky's? Can we go over to Bosky's?" I was like, I thought we were going for ice cream today. They're like, "But Bosky." So I told them they had to get along and figure it out. And they did. They figured it out. I told them one of the things, so I guess we're going to have to do ice cream. We'll probably have to do it at the beginning of next week. But anyway, they had the best they had the best food though. But it's been an interesting day. The kids are funny. It was weirding me out though. I keep looking at the oldest, and the oldest used to fit in my hand. I used to really be able to fit her in my hand, and now she's almost 13. It's weirding me out. Because she's such a big kid. I mean, she's like a little person now. Before she was like a little handheld, like nothing, almost just tiny. All right, let me pull these up for you. I want to show you. Let me show you the Randy filing stuff, because you actually can see some of that wonderful depot. Now, the whole depot, the reason that it didn't come out and you didn't just get to clock it all yourself, there was, I think, a really valid reason, and that's because the antis, it showed that they don't have the connection they brag about. See, they bragged that they would be able to get the deposition before. Once it was available, they would have it just right away. They were in communication. Remember, they said they were in communication with the lady that actually did the depot. They said that they had been talking to them, and they were getting a copy just like that. Now, that didn't happen. They didn't get a copy, period. What they were planning on is trying to jack one from us. And no, it wasn't mine. I mean, ultimately the thing cost enough money, so it was just kind of funny watching them not be able to pull it up at all. But now, attached to this, we have portions of it. Now, this, you can see the exhibit list that's here, and these are all, again, there are 8 exhibits. So this, by the way, if you did not see it for some reason, this was the document 145. You have an upcoming hearing that is popping off. Well, it's popping off this Tuesday. So this should be interesting. Next week's can come off with a freaking bang too. And this, there have been some questions about what exactly this is. I'm not going to read it, but you can look it up. It's pretty short, but essentially the title tells you everything. This is deposition excerpts. So what Randy is doing here is he's saying, "Hey, we have a motion. This motion is to compel the resumption of the depot. The one that Lynette Preston walked out on, and they're also asking for sanctions." So along with this, of course, you can see that they have the date set up for when that's going to happen. And it gives you a list of what exactly is included. So we're going to look at each one of these first. All right. So Exhibit 1, when we pull it up, will be from the depot of, again, Element OP. It tells you the pages, exactly what it is. And this is covering where they go over initial ground rules and early interruptions warnings. Now, why are they doing this? Because they're establishing the fact that she won't control herself. That she was out of control. And again, she has to be asked questions. Like, that's exactly why she's there. So here is part 1 of that. We'll have to switch back and forth. So this is, again, if you're playing at home with the exhibits, it will be -1. So this is Doc 145-1. Again, this is from the depot of Element OP. So with the, they have the swear in, of course. They always get sworn in, so whereupon Element OP acknowledge having been duly sworn to tell the truth and testified upon his or her oath as follows. And she's like, so help me God, yes. All right. So Shockey comes in and says, so Element OP, before we get started, we're going to go on the record here. What occurred in allowing this 30-minute delay has been caused by your statements. So what's going to happen here is exactly the opposite of what happened the last time we deposed you. You're not going to interrupt me at all. When I ask a question, wait until the question is completed in its entirety, and then you can answer. Is that clear? Oh, it's very clear, sir. That was a good example. Thank you. So, with regard to bringing a child into the courtroom and setting yourself up in the next room with Mr. Cook, there's a couple of things that you and your attorney and I have agreed upon. One is we're not repeating what you did the last time with a child, so there will be no child interruptions during this depot. So there's the end. They're setting ground rules. They tell you right off the bat, too. I mean, all of this stuff is important because it puts it in front of the judge. Number one, they had a delay right from go. Lynette Preston had delayed this thing. That's crazy, right? Number two, and the funny thing about this is John Cook raised all this public spectacle about it. He said that he would be there for the deposition. And lo and behold, oh, wow. He ended up in the next room. Now, he tried to make it sound like he would be in there, but he's, in the room. But really, I mean, John Cook made it pretty clear that his presence was there to be a hindrance. So it'd be a damn shame if his social media commentary on the subject, where he was bragging about essentially going to be a disruption, I'd be ashamed if that came in too. But she was told, I think it's very clear. I think it's a very good thing to add into this too, that with regard to the kid being in the next room, that's fine as long as. So she was told the kid is not allowed to be an interruption. Why? Because you pulled that the last time. And it's not just the last time. She's pulled it every time we've seen something. Anytime she uses the child or something, there's always something, right? There's when she's going to get deposed, the clown car is definitely going to be in full effect. It's going to pull up and it's going to be amazing. So she's told, again, these are the ground rules. All right. So then, let's see, second, what we're going to do here, the way we're doing this is we're going to go back to the exhibit list and we'll look at exactly what it tells you that it is. And then we will look at the exhibit itself. All right. So exhibit 2 of this is warning. Again, they're all depot. I'm skipping this. All right. Just a note. And you'll notice it does skip around because it's not a complete depot with it, but it notes the warning about interruptions and sanctions. Okay, so she ends up having a warning on this. The funny thing is I haven't read the examples, so this is actually the first time I've looked at them when we pull them up, each one of them. But here's this one. Give me 1 second. I have to lock each one of them in. Takes just a second. This is 145-2. Again, I'll note that with each one for everybody playing at home, playing the document sorting game, which is my favorite game, by the way. It says if someone knocks on the door, unless there's some type of blood or emergency about your child, we're going straight to the judge. And we're going to ask for additional attorney's fees against you and sanctions for that issue because we're warning you ahead of time. That's what happened the last time in your state deposition. Under no circumstance going to happen here. Is that clear? Now, she's like, yep, it's clear. So again, she's wanting to argue already off of this too, but she's agreeing to this in form. She's saying if anything happens, that she agrees that they're going to. So again, she agrees if anything happens with this stuff, that they're going straight to the judge. They're going to ask for additional sanctions against you and attorney fees, etc., etc. She says it's clear, but I didn't do anything when I came in here, and I didn't do anything last time. And it's funny because, again, you've seen what happens in these. And you can already see the argumentative stuff. It was funny, too, because she talked about this publicly. She talked about it like she was getting attacked and bullied with this. And this is pretty, I'm going to say basic. This isn't even combative. You can tell, like, she has a very hostile attitude when somebody talks to her about something. And again, I get it to a degree, I get it. 1 second. Check something here. So, off of that, let's see. Then, okay, you did a lot, and it's all documented. And we're documenting this also. It's like, good, thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, you can see the combative way that she goes about it. And it's also one of the funny things, Lynette, when I look at anything that you do, you need the last word. I like sometimes that you lose the last word just because you can tell it annoys her. But doesn't it come across as she has to have the last word? Because, I mean, you think about it. When somebody's like, okay, thank you. You're you're welcome. I'm glad. I mean, it comes across as so combative. Like she needs that. So we're all very glad, it says. And hopefully you can accommodate that situation. So that being said, nobody is saying you can't take breaks. If you need to take a break or anyone needs to take a break, we just ask if there's any question pending that it get answered, and then we can take comfort breaks. And the last thing we agree upon with your attorney is when we take breaks, you're not going to discuss anything about this deposition with anyone, especially John Cook. Is that clear? So, now there was some interesting posting that came from all of this mess that talked about getting things from the car, and it really came across as there was discussion. I took some of the posts that came up from after this as, yeah, there were, these folks, they are flagrant sometimes. They're absolutely freaking flagrant sometimes. I'm telling you, all those, look, it's like this. Okay, these are the kind of posts, by the way, that she put up with these things. All right, to tell you again her mindset for just basic information. Like, again, it gives you the idea of being combative. Before we started, he made it clear on the record that he was nasty. He had an evil look on his face. We're not going to have a repeat of the last deposition. You're not going to. Isn't that a strange way to spin that? I mean, again, telling somebody that they're not going to act like they did in the last depo. I had this feeling they can't be told anything. They can't be told anything negative or they perceive to be negative. It's just there's a bunch of that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to lock those in, and we can look at those in a minute. We'll get through these, and then I'll show you exactly what she was saying with all of those. I mean, it's just wild. Isn't it wild to see this? Like, for her to be like, oh my God. So it gives you a look into that mindset. All right. So going back to this, give me 1 minute. It's a lot of shuffling, so you have to give me a second there. So again, not talking to anyone, especially Mr. Cook. Is that clear? Absolutely clear. So if we see, I didn't put it online. Your client did. Thank you. See, I mean, you look at it. Look, this is in the rule breakdown. She can't even control herself in the rule breakdown. I mean, look at it. He's just like, yo, we don't need to see anything online. We don't need to see anything coming up. You don't need to be communicating with Mr. Cook. Is that clear? So if we see, I didn't put it online, your client did. Thank you. It's just, it's so amazing. Oh, I love this. I love it. I love it. So he's like, hey, wait. I'm sorry. You just interrupted me again. What did you say? She's like, I have not put anything online about depositions. Your client did. It's like, holy crap. I said, we're not talking about putting anything online. But that's a good point you brought it up, because if something does come online while this deposition is going forward, here's what she doesn't understand. Like, she never gets here. And none of these idiots get. There's the key wording in there. While this deposition is going forward. This isn't some state secret that you can't have any discussion about. But while it's transpiring, if things are starting to pop up online, that means someone is leaking it real time. That is a problem in and of itself. And it is a problem that has transpired before. So again, I think it's a really fair warning. They're always like, oh, other people are talking about it. No, the problem was when you have somebody that's not in the courtroom, when 2L was doing live updates, Ray Bone Crushers in his chat. Yeah, when you could watch them, I mean, they were doing just moment by moment updates. That's a problem. That's a real problem. And then when some of these people, they get pretty flagrant about the stuff they're doing. And then when she walked out, remember, she ended up walking out on this. And then in the aftermath, which has caused all the 2L drama, she did an interview talking about everything while she was still under oath. I mean, it's amazing. She talked about the depot when the depot wasn't over. Plus, she gave answers to quite a few other things, talking about items she had been asked in the depot. So you can see, the difference there. When they talk about Hale's communicating it, it'd be the same thing. Like if they would have waited when they were discussing like Shara giving information, or when they were discussing Hale's giving information, that'd have been totally different. But it had to be in the aftermath, not in the moment. But anyway, or if we hear about that afterwards, we're going to know what happened, and there will be further motions against you if you do that. You're not going to discuss your testimony in this deposition with anyone when we take a break at all. And that includes your attorney, by the way. Okay? Is that clear? I'm not allowed to speak to my attorney. Not about your deposition when we take a break. Now, what's amazing is she also, in all of this stuff, she framed that too as her essentially being isolated and all this other ridiculous nonsense. I mean, it was so bizarre to see her talk about it because, again, this is standard. You're not allowed to go and you're not allowed to have conversations with anyone on it. I mean, okay, just to give you an idea of how she acted about that. She thought she was being attacked when she was asked things like, have you spoken to anyone about this prior to? I mean, again, here, give you an example of that. Like this to her, when she was going over her whole victimization spree, she said, he asked me that too. Have you spoken to anyone prior to this deposition? Has anyone told you what to say in the deposition? That is typical. They all ask you that. They ask you, have you relied on any documentation? You know, like, because if you're relying on documentation, they have the right to check it out. See, we saw a really good example of why they bring that up, you know, with that debt trial. Okay. In there, you had the guy who cleaned up the home prior when he was testifying about what he saw. He had relied on pictures that had never been produced to anyone. That was one of the things that was kind of wow with the defense. The only thing that I would say that Amber Heard's team really did right was, hey, wait a minute, you're talking about pictures that had never been turned over before. And that's why you ask about this stuff, because when there's discussion about it, if they're relying on a document, everyone should have the ability to look at said document. That's what'll be fun. Like in the Lips case. Oh yeah, we've created timeline documents. So I would love to put a timeline document into the case when we talk about her timelines that she's produced versus the timeline of actual events, because that would be something I'd turn over. But that, again, a lawyer asking you about that is in no way, shape, or form harassment. So, but I mean, she thinks it is. She thinks it is. All right. So the third exhibit that actually came up with this, give me a second. Got to go back to the main document. You can see exhibit 3 right here, where it was her attorney intervenes and explains the rules. Now, the funny thing about her attorney intervention, she cuts off her own attorney. Even her attorney is not allowed to speak. It's pretty bad. You know what's really bad is when opposing counsel points that out. I mean, that just doesn't look very good. You know, when opposing counsel has to say, ma'am, why don't you let your attorney, them speak? He said it looks crazy on record because it goes beyond the adversarial position between you and the other lawyer. It goes directly into the fact that it's either your way or else. And you could tell throughout this document, and you could tell in the follow-up document after this, that he has no control over her. I mean, that's one of the great tales about all of this. He has absolutely no freaking control over this woman. Oh my. All right, let's look at that. Hey, let me note something too real quick. For you folks out there who knew Something to Bark About, I found out yesterday, passed away. So I'm going to give love to her, family. She was a decent human being, and that is a huge compliment online these days. She was a decent human being. I liked her. I was happy that everybody out there, she really wanted to get her channel to a specific point, and I'm glad that she got there. So, but I just wanted to note that, because she was a good person. I liked her. So, document 145. Again, this is exhibit 3 out of those 2 pages there. So this is a question. She doesn't even know if her lawyer is actually present. She doesn't understand how Zoom works. You know, it's so sad when she doesn't even know how Zoom works there. But she's like, is he here somewhere online? You know, I don't know how this works. Is he here online or no? Oh, that's so amazing. She doesn't even trust her lawyer to be there present. What a position to be in life. I'm gonna say Saran Wrap's got to be in this this weird place with all of this too. We've all talked about this, but I think it's a very fair point to drill. She talked about Saran Wrap wanting money last year, wanting more money. This came up around, what was it, October, November? Right in there. And we're still going into almost another year. Now, he is not allowed to step aside without their approval. You know, there's no way they're going to be like, sure, yeah, we want to fire you or whatever. You know, they're not gonna want to do that because they're not going to be able to get another lawyer. Lisa has made damn sure that there will never be another fundraiser that will ever work for them. She has made that very, very clear to all these people out there. When she's talked about, you know, biting the hand, they had a very long conversation about biting the hand that feeds you, which I thought was interesting because they're comparing Michelle Preston to a dog. You know, they are a freaking out of control dog. I'm sure she appreciated that comparison. I'm sure she was like, yeah, thanks for that one. But yeah, they were talking about that. And they were talking about all kinds of other stuff too. You know, and Michelle, if you are indeed watching, which I know you do quite a bit, one thing that you need to do is go look up all of those old transcripts. They're very easy to do. Heck, if you want transcripts, there are people that have them. Or hey, you are welcome to getting them. You know, just ask for them. But you can put them in something like ChatGPT and ask it, hey, what all does it say about Michelle Preston or Lynette Preston or Lacey Preston or whatever? You can ask it, and you'll have some pretty interesting stuff about how you'll never get money from any of those folks out there. And you know where that directive comes from. It comes from right there with the person with the microphone. But anyway, so continuing here. He's like, you know, she's like, is he here online or no? She's told, like, he's here. I guess who gets to ask the questions today? Randy's like, yo, I'm the one in charge of this. So, you know, I'm the one that actually gets to ask questions. You do know that, right? This is your deposition. That means that you have to let me ask you questions, which apparently goes very badly throughout all of this. She's like, I was just wondering, you're making it sound like I'm not allowed to speak to him at all. See, again, you can see how combative she gets from go. Like, that's the point that he's making in clips. What page number was this? So this is by page 7. So we haven't even gotten past the early directives. And she's already getting combative about it. You know, oh, you don't get to. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. You know, they will object to certain things. Michelle also doesn't follow her attorney's advice. She doesn't wait for her attorney to speak before anything continues. Like, if he objects to something, she just keeps going. So I'm sure, even if you've never experienced this before, I am sure that you've seen in depositions to understand that if your attorney, now in the deposition, you got to remember there is not a judge present. So their objections, they'll go on the record. And the judge gets to decide later on if that is valid or not. So you can strike whatever's there in the aftermath. But as far as that's concerned, typically everything goes forward. Now, there can be some things that are out of bounds. And if they are out of bounds, then they'll tell a client maybe not to answer something, if it's egregious. But you always allow your lawyer to finish speaking before, and she doesn't allow her lawyer anything. So she's told, no, for the second time, I'll repeat, if you want, we can read it back to you. It's like, no, thank you. I said that you can discuss anything with your attorney when we take a break, except the deposition. Is that clear? And he's here. So she was told, hey, you can talk to him, but you can't talk about the depo. You can't load up answers. You can't, prime anything for motion. You have to do it. You have to play by the rules with that, Well, with this stuff, yeah, if I were Jeremy, I would have shelled out for a video recording. It would have completely paid off and give the judge a better feeling of exactly how LP's responses were delivered. Well, yeah, in there, you push as far as you feel that you can with things, Bringing in somebody to record responses, one thing. Video, sometimes they won't. It depends on the court. Some courts will allow audio. Some courts will allow video. Some courts won't allow it at all. So with that, they went in and they got this. Now, the one thing that I was afraid that wouldn't be caught in all of these depo, right, or all this depo here, was the ending, how it ended. Because you're right. I mean, with not in the buying sense, because that can be limited. Because I'm sure he wanted video. I'm pretty sure he wanted that. But yeah, it captures more for sure. And it's not just that it shows that, but it shows how something terminates. Now, luckily, the company that Randy brought into this, they did a very good job of capturing the end there. And the discussion, the way that it comes up on record, it also showcases, number one, that it terminated abruptly. Number two, that it was Michelle and that she walked out. It's actually captured in the depo, which is amazing when it's captured in words. Because you have, at the end, you have Ramsaran here. He's trying to control her. She's out of control. Randy's like, look, essentially, I've had enough. We're going to go to the court. We're going to end up, doing blah, blah, blah. And Ransaram is trying to talk him out of it. He's trying to say, no, she's just stressed or whatever. He's doing what a lawyer should do. He's trying to control an uncontrollable client. He's also trying not to get himself sanctioned in the process. But he's trying to appease as well. And unfortunately, through all of that, Lynette, she had walked out and he didn't realize it. Because she's like, well, Ramsaran's like, well, Randy, she's just stressed or whatever. And Randy's like, no, she's not. By the way, she just left. And Ramsaran's like, wait, Michelle. I mean, it's just the way those few lines come up. It is so amazing because it captures her walking out. You can tell she bailed. You absolutely tell. I mean, she was out of there. She didn't even wait for the attorneys to finish talking about what was happening toward the end. She's left. And, that's really important because she went online and said that wasn't true at all. She said it was all a lie, that he had finished and she decided, boom, we're out of here since it was over. No. So anyway, off of this, he says, let's see. You can talk about anything except the demo. Is that clear? And he's here. So he starts to speak. Randy, may I speak on the record? So Randy's like, sure. Ramsaran is like, very briefly. Okay. So Michelle, I'm at the deposition. I have spoken with Mr. Shockett regarding how this is to proceed. I probably wouldn't put it, whatever that is. You cannot discuss your testimony, and that includes with me when taking breaks. I will discuss it with you afterwards, of course. So, of course, you're going to have time. You know, it's she's like, that's clear. That's what I didn't understand. And shock it to give you, see, this is what's not captured in here, but it's put on record. And I'm glad Randy puts this on record. Her answer here, she doesn't let him finish what he's stating. Randy's like, you're actually interrupting your own attorney. Because you know, if you look at this, he doesn't get a whole thought out. She cuts her own attorney off before he finishes his thought. If your own attorney cannot control you in a deposition, you have a real problem there. You should look at it as a you problem too. You know, that's the that's the thing, that all of their spin and all of their trash, when they've talked about this, they've tried to give you this idea that it's, oh, that mean old Randy versus poor Lynette. She has to talk over there, bro. That's the same thing they pulled with Lips. The only problem is that doesn't match up to the reality of that situation. So Ramsaran is like, you know, okay, maybe we can try and be civil and proceed. And Shockett's like, we're all going to try and be civil, okay? Let's start. So then he asked, I've taken your deposition before, is that correct? Yes. And I'm going to go over the same ground rules that we had last time. I'm going to put my phone on mute, as everyone should. That's fair, right? Mute your phone. Like, again, all of these are just ground rules. So, Miss Preston, you're under oath, as you were last time. And even though, Miss Preston, look at this. I mean, look at how this goes. So he's talking. He's like, and even though, Miss Preston, you do need to face me, because one of the reasons why we take a deposition in person is so I can see your reaction and judge your credibility from them. There's part of other reasons for doing it as well. So thank you for facing me. So you can tell right off the bat, she will not even control the way that she reacts. She won't look his way. It's just nuts. Most people, again, the courts have allowed this clownery to, this buffoonery, which is amazing. The majority of people wouldn't even think to try to pull this shit off. But in reality, Lynette Preston thought she had nothing to lose for the longest time. And I'm sure that's because 2L, Bruce, all these people, they put that little earworm on her and they told her, this is the way out. You're going to be able to settle everything up. You're going to be able to get rid of it all. At the end, the judge is just going to, and we know that because they celebrated it. They celebrated it live. And Lynette, see, again, I think that she actually has a case against some of these morons, especially, really depending on how her quote unquote lawyer handled those questions. She may have a real case against him because, we know that she was promised millions for things like the thumbnail case. Millions. And it ends up collapsing it on itself. She ends up getting sanctioned. You end up having Scott Stark. His he ends up getting sanctioned as well. I mean, of course, he's passed, but still, if he's not there, I mean, you're talking about whatever is left over, it still gets sanctioned. And that's absolutely these people's fault. They brought such garbage cases, and an attorney with half a freaking brain would have said, "Hey, you don't want to do this." That's what we keep telling, like, 2L. It's like, these copyright claims are the dumbest thing we've ever heard. And as far as bullying and stuff, oh my God, you've opened yourself up to one hell of a counterclaim. Look, I mentioned yesterday, she went live and told us a story about how she had gotten a call, which was a bail bond scam, with someone pretending to be a sheriff, I guess. And she was asked for $1,270. She figures out she was actually going to give the person money, but luckily for her, she didn't. But later on, you have Megan Fox go live. She's talking about how there are rumors out there that Gabe had been bonded out, that it cost like $1,500. And Tubbs was like, "Oh my God, that proves she was in on the scam." The dumbest things in the world. And you tell these people, you're like, it's really, really dumb for you to say shit like that publicly and then to pretend you're a victim. That kind of stuff will get you cooked. I mean, absolutely. They're like, "Yeah, we'll get their phone records." Oh my God. An attorney will tear you apart for that. But that's the kind of stuff. I mean, all these people, any kind of lawyer signing on that is an absolute idiot too. Along with, you can have an idiot for a client, but man, you can also have idiots for freaking attorneys too. If you don't think that's possible, well, look at some of the retired and disbarred conduct that you've seen. Some of the most amazing conduct ever. All right, let's continue here, though. All right, so anyway, we're here in a deposition, as you know. You've been through it before and seen. All right, let's look at the next one. Give me 1 second. Clicking back over to the master sheet for this. Now, this will be number 4. Number 4 is about repeated admonishments in attempts to control the witness. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that Randy knew that this would go so badly that you've got to have somebody there recording it, not for the answers necessarily, but for the fact that Lynette Preston is going to be uncontrollable. And you're going to have proof of that. You absolutely do. I just think it's amazing. Oh man, what's funny is I'm sitting here and I still have that, as I'm talking, I still have that song stuck in my head with little Jeremy. Little Jeremy straight out of Otter Creek. I still have that song stuck in my head. Oh Lord, I'm gonna have to listen to that again. So here's document 145-4. Now, again, in this is the examples of admonishments and attempts to control the witness. So let's check this out here. Again, I haven't read over the clips, so that's why I'm reading the entire page. I read over one of them to give you an example of some of the stuff that got clipped out. But so, Lynette MLA, that's how I sign my name. I didn't say anything about signing your name. That's how I use my name. Yes, sir. I didn't ask you that. That's the problem we're having. Legally, when you do a document, I'm not asking you how you sign your name. If I were to do what's called a title search, that's the reason why I'm asking you these questions, okay? So I'm asking you again, under your legal name, when you title something, have you ever gone by Michelle L.A., initial L.A. Preston, yes or no? No. Have you ever gone by any other legal names under real estate documents? No. Lynette, did you see it just interrupted me? Did you see that? You just asked me a question. Did I go by any other name? I said no. So you have, look, Ramsaran, this is where, again, tone definitely helps. So yes, I would love audio to go with it, but Ramsaran backs this up because Ramsaran is like, hey, Michelle, that's enough. That's like that parenting tone. Like when you're out of control. This is something here that tells you as a client, hey, I need to pull back. I need to pull that shit back. Because, this is the stuff too. Michelle, 2L, all these people left out when they were discussing all of this, that her own attorney had to be like, look, that's enough. Let's bring it back. I mean, he's telling her, pull back the attitude. Pull back what you're doing. Pull back your statements here. Essentially, you're going to get yourself in trouble. And if he doesn't say anything about it, you're going to get him in trouble too. And he knows that. That's why he's like, oh, no, I think you probably do want to go there. Now, I apologize for interrupting on the record. So this right here is so telling. Because he not only brings himself into this, but he has to interrupt Randy on the record to get that in there and to admonish his own client. Typically, you're looking at going after admonishing the other counsel, because if that's the other thing with her and the way she tells this too. If Randy were such an out of control monster, there's no way Ramsaran would just sit there and be like, oh, it's okay. I mean, they talk about Ramsaran and they talk about, I bet you by the end of this, the way that it goes, I bet you that he's going to be yet another one that they talk shit about and try to ruin. I bet you money on it. No matter how it goes, no matter what happens, it is not going to turn out the way that they promised the world. So they are going to talk about him. They're going to talk about him. And it depends. Some of the prior counsel, like depending on who they are, like prior Ohio counsel, they talked about him in either, and I'm not saying this, I'm just saying this is the way they went after him. They either talked about him being incompetent all the way up to other counsel saying that they were in cahoots. They were colluding with the other side, which is a major accusation. So Ramsaran, though, he goes on, he's like, hey, I apologize for having to do that. And again, this proves that this is going on, like I said. So Shockett is like, no, I appreciate it. And again, remember, in his document, he said that this wasn't Ramsaran's fault that things were out of control. It was 100% Michelle Preston. So he says, you did interrupt me. You didn't know what my question was going to be. You assumed it. So try to take half a breath before answering, and that might help. All right. Now, that wasn't my question. If I do what's called a title search, I have to put in names. And if you're using initials, that's going to show up as a different result. So that's the premise to my question here. So have you ever legally had documents in your name where instead of spelling out the names like Alexis, Lacey, Michelle, Lynette, it actually uses initials? That's a yes/no question. She's like, yes. Yes, okay. So what are those documents we're talking about then? What real estate records show you using your initials? Probably Northport, probably here. Okay. So did you have to show your driver's license when you signed documents using initials? That's my signature, so that's how I sign documents. So you can see it in there. Now, the interesting question that came up with all of that, by the way, and Lynette Preston stated on record was that the lawyers, I was trying to think of how I wanted to talk about them. I was like, counsel, no. The lawyers that actually set all of that up. She said that they did such a bad job that she filed a complaint and she won and got her money back. Now, when you look up the place that she's talking about to put that up, weirdly enough, it says that they have a clean record for like the last decade, I think it was. So they haven't had any bar complaints land and them actually have some issue that we're able to find. So if Preston actually has some documented proof of that, that would be good. You notice, though, that goes with that trend of attacking counsel that have worked with you. So not only does she attack counsel that has worked with her with regard to the Jeremy Hale's case, or cases, I would say, but she has attacked counsel that has worked with her on prior occasions with Holmes and everything else. Isn't that wild? I mean, essentially, it doesn't matter what happens if she's had the property, like she was happy with it until they get in there, and then suddenly there were supposed problems. It's unreal. There is never any satisfying. So let's go back to our table here. So we are on what? This is number 5. Let's look and see what number 5 is. Number 5 is alive. That was a very random movie quote. I haven't seen Johnny 5 in forever. So this is, again, this will be number 5 here, Exhibit 5. And it is an explicit request for attorney to control the witness. I mean, you see, again, what this is telling you, you got to remember, too, all of this is happening within an hour and change. So with an hour and, say, a half, you have things spin out of, and she had already, even before she walks in the door, she's late. I mean, that's how out of control stuff is. Like, even before she walks through the freaking door. So let's see. Exhibit 5 on this. Give me a second here. Exhibit 5. So this is talking about Bennett Law. That's the law firm, by the way, that she decided to throw under the bus and talk a lot of smack about. Fun times with that, right? So she would ask, with transaction, is that correct? Yeah, it was handled by Bennett Law Firm. So you represented yourself. You've already said Bennett Law Firm did not represent you, correct? Correct. So you didn't have anyone representing you in this real estate transaction in question, right? No, I guess no. And you don't have any independent recollection of how the name Lynette M.L.A. Preston wound up on the deed. Is that right? So again, you have, this is what we're reading. This is what I mean by, you'll have an objection. The objection, since again, there is no judge there, you'll have an objection put on record where the judge can look at it later. That's why you'll just have a one word, but you'll notice, like, there is no discussion or anything else. You can tell that Michelle Preston just continues. She doesn't wait for instruction from her lawyer. Like, my lawyer, I'll put it this way. If my lawyer starts to speak up, first of all, before I answer anything, I'm going to do what Randy Shockett was talking about. I'm going to take a couple of breaths, make sure I understand the entire question, formulate what I'm going to say, and not just blurt out something. You know, you actually think about the question for a minute. If your lawyer speaks, then you stop and you let your lawyer, you let whatever they're saying come out. And just to make sure, I'm going to let them tell me, okay, you can proceed. That way, even though 99.9% of these objections, when they're put on record, they're not going to stop anything, Lynette Preston doesn't stop herself. It's wild to watch. None of LP's problems are problems. Exactly, JC. They're always some other company, some other person. Oh, Lord. It is wild to listen to her about it. But so she says to this, she says, I have no idea. Then Mr. Shock, and you didn't tell them that, did you? I have no idea. When you say you have no idea, is it possible you did tell them? No. And Randy's like, there it is again. There it is again, the interruption. Now, Ransaran, he's getting told right here, you got to control your client, dude. You know? So Mr. Ransaran, I need you to really control your client. It's happening again now. And this is not, I've had several times raise my finger a few times. These acts of interruption and attempted interruption, they're not helping at all. They're very distracting. They've got to stop. Please instruct your witness to wait until the question is finished before she answers. I mean, right there, you've already had her counsel get onto her and be like, that's enough. You've had combative tones from the beginning, and now you have it where it's gone on enough. And again, we've all seen the depot from Lynette Preston. We've seen how she acts. So you know when you watch her, when you listen to everything that she does, you know exactly how that plays out. So Ramsaran asks, hey, can we go off record for a moment? And Shockett's like, no, we ain't doing that. So, nope. It's like, hey, would you like me to instruct her on the record? And Shockett's like, I want you to take care of this witness and tell her to stop interrupting and wait until the question is complete before she begins her answer. And he's like, hey, I understand that, Mr. Shockett. I figured it'd be most appropriate to do it off the record. But see, this is the smart move. Randy already knew how out of control Lynette Preston is going to get. So he made sure that this stuff, even if it goes off record, it was discussed on the record. That way you can preserve it for the discussion, because again, he's wanting to force a continuation of the deposition. He wants it, he wants the judge, he wants them keenly aware of what's happening. He wants it noted that both attorneys, again, they weren't fighting each other. They were fighting the lady that's actually out of control there. I mean, he's making a point with all of this. So it's actually a smart move to put it on record there. So Shockett is like, okay, you want to go off the record? 2 minutes, no more. And we got 4 minutes off the record, apparently. So then they go back. They go back to their line of questioning. But you can see, yet again, for this one was noted as explicit request for attorney to control the witness. And you can see that he had to stop it and be like, yo, can you control the witness? And for Saran Wrap's part, he actually does try to control the witness. Now, that doesn't help. She actually is still out of control with this stuff. If you go to the 6th exhibit, you can see that doesn't help in any way, shape, or form. Like that's the amazing part of it. You know what's going to be amazing? You see the table of contents, right? Any of you that are like, man, I want to see how this turns out. Well, guess what? You do get to see it. It's in the exhibits. So you actually get to see how it ends. It's amazing because you can tell with this that Lynette Preston walks out. I mean, it is so freaking obvious. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. So the 6th one is continued interruptions and warnings. All right, so let's pull number 145-6. Give me a second. Here we are. Now, in 145-6, Yeah, and it's important when you look at property records. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Every time you change even one initial or shorten it in another initials, it changes the record result. Do you understand that? And they tried to paint this out like it was badgering, but getting an actual answer from Lynette Preston, it's difficult. It's difficult to just get a straight answer. So you can see why it's so hard when they're pressing this point. I love watching it, but what a mess, What an absolute mess. Let me check something real fast. All right, I had a message come through. I was trying to make sure it wasn't anything pressing, Nobody that I know, like my mom or somebody, having a problem. Just making sure. So anyway, so do you understand that? Yes. And you understand we're talking about property records here. So it's very important to be precise. Do you understand? Yes. So I'm not harassing you. I'm going over, I did searches and I see a lot of names here. So I got to go over each one of them. You said Lacey Preston you used. How about Lacey A. Bennett? Have you ever used that name? I don't recall. So how about the name Lynette Michelle Caritas with no other names? Possibly. How about Lynette L. Preston? Lynette L. No. Are you sure? I don't believe so. No. I would have used Lynette Michelle Lacey or MLA. When you used Lacey, how did you spell it? Is it Lacy or Lacey? When I changed my name, it was Lacy, but I use Lacey because it's prettier. See, this amazed me, by the way, just a note with this. She legally changes her name. She changes it legally to Lacy. But when she's signing things, she's not, she's talking about how she spells it. She thinks it looks better with the E in it. So even though it is not her legal name, she is signing legal documents with the addition of the E. Isn't that crazy? Well, I just thought it looked better. I mean, they're legal documents. You're supposed to sign your actual name to it. You're not supposed to. It makes that very clear in everything you sign. But because she thinks it looks better on paper, she signs stuff, and that can cause you some real problems. It can cause you problems like you don't have ownership of the things you think you have ownership of. That can be considered document fraud, potentially. I'm not saying it's intentional. But it's still, when you go out, you can see what kind of problem that can cause when something's asking for your legal name and you're saying, nope. I thought it looked better. So therefore, I just did it. So when did you use Lacey? I've always used it from time I did it. So are you saying you never used Lacy, Preston? At times when I first did it. So you used the name Lacy. You used the name Lacey, Lacey A. Preston in the past. I don't recall. All right, that's a fair answer. How about the name Lynette Michelle Lacey Griffith? Yes. How about Lacey Bennett? Well, yes. How about, you can see the name thing, how this goes on, and it'll get to the interruptions in a minute. How about Lacey Michelle Griffey? Yes, it's possible. And when you spell Michelle, do you spell it with, and it goes through Michell, Michelle, Michelle. Wait, now my name is Michelle. I do like the fact that you can't spell Michelle here without Hale. I mean, that is true. Very, very fitting in this one. Yeah, exactly, JC too. LP is feral. She attacks everyone without exception. Yes, everyone catches strays. Everyone, no matter what. It doesn't matter if they're a friend, foe. They all catch strays. She is accused if not all, she has accused the majority of the men that she has been with. What, 6 or 7? I can't remember. I think 7, but again, don't quote me on the exact number. But the men that she has married, she's accused the majority of them of being, let's just say, monsters of the worst sort. I mean, these are things that, when you attach them to somebody's name, they are life destroying. And it's weird because either one, this woman has this uncanny ability to attract the worst of the worst, which, if that's true, maybe that's a reflection of self. That's not good. Or she falsely accuses people. Or both. I mean, maybe there's both too. Maybe there's a line in there. But I mean, it is questionable when somebody has accused every single person they've been with. And we're talking about when you've accused over 5 people in your life, like, if you're over like 75% of the people you've been with, and you've got again, over 5, I'm going to say, you've accused 3 of them with that. There is something strange in that. Now, again, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that after that, you got to be like, because she's accused John of some heinous shit. Emmy makes her the 5. Not only does she not know how to her name, she doesn't know how to spell it. Apparently. Yeah, exactly. 2012 said, let's make Tug pretty. We can add a silent E, Touche. That'll be like what it looks like. There, now it's pretty. Exactly. Emil, please be safe. Indeed. I am safe. I've got I keep a friend with me all the time. I keep my own little bodyguard. I live in the deep south, so I'm not worried about these people or any other craziness. But it's like when you use Michelle, did you ever spell it M-I-C-H-E? I would never. So look, it doesn't even get the name out. What is up with that, by the way? I mean, what's the I would never? So check this out. Look. So he asked her about spelling. She's like, my name is M-I-C-H-E-L-L-E. All right. So he's like, when you use Michelle, then did you ever spell it M-I-C-H-E? So again, it's the same spelling, right? E. He hasn't finished. He's right up there, and she's like, I would never. Would never what? You just said that you spell it that way. He's like, again, interrupted. There it is. He's like, hey, right there. Look, she interrupted him again. He's like, I'm sorry, sir. I would not. Let me finish my question. And again, please look at me. So in addition to not answering the actual questions that she is being asked, she also fails on the other rule of actually looking at the guy who is asking you questions too. Yeah, they like to know. See, with lawyers, what's wild though with Michelle, she talks about. I got thinking about this after we had the discussion about her prior engagement with the state. With that case where she admits that she got in trouble over Ashley. Yeah. So in that, you mean to tell me that the attorneys that you saw during all of that the state itself, you didn't consider them combative? You think Randy Shockett here, this is combative? Like that amazes me. So when people were accusing you of crimes against a child, you didn't think they were combative enough? I mean, either this is just more accusation, which is possible, or wow, that's a statement there. Yeah, 2012, she says the same about women too. Yes, she has accused women as well of being, well, let's just say of crimes against children as well. Yes, which we had that interview Monday. If you missed that interview, that was something else. It's something else to hear an interview about how this woman is accusing somebody, and yet at the same time is around them all the time and giving access to the kids in question. She's never cutting off access or anything. It's just something else. But so you see the cutoff there. Do you ever use the name Lynette Michelle Griffey, spelling Michelle as Michell? No. How about Lynette L. Kratos? Have you ever used that? No. So if I see a document that have Lynette L. Kratos with the signature saying Lynette L. Kratos, that wouldn't be you. I can't see myself using Lynette L. when my name is Lynette Michelle Lacey Alexis. So you're saying if the signature looks weird, I can't help that. But no, I would not have intentionally done that. No, to the best of my knowledge, no. You know what's interesting is you have yet another cutoff, and it looks like he didn't say anything about that one. But it looks like from the note, she cut him off yet again after being warned right here. Isn't that fun? She's like, the signature looks weird. No. It's like, I'm not talking about a signature. I'm talking about a legal document. No. So if I ever show you a document that has the name Lynette L. Kratos and a signature with initial L, that's not you. So again, you get pieces of it. This is about a 90. You got to remember, this is, well, with all the footnotes and everything else, it's got 160 pages, but I think it's like right on 100 pages of actual deposition. All right, so Exhibit 7, we're going to. This is, let's see, let me pull it up here. A second. All right, back to our table of contents. It's pretty good. We're rolling through these pretty well. Now, this next one is about 4 pages, okay? So you get, I think the next one is the longest of the bunch, and then you get a 2-pager at the end. So we have 2 more of these. These are, again, they show you how bad this is, how it's going. It's just something else. Between her and between the craziness that's being pulled by 2L, who is doubling and tripling down. You know, it's funny. She keeps saying, I've got the video. I've got it. I can't wait to show it. Again, as people have pointed out, Gabe gave a test. You know, what you're doing is you're saying Gabe lied. That video, if it shows something different from Gabe's testimony, by the way, or his his statement, it's a sworn statement, then holy shit, his credibility is gone forever. So, wow. That'll be real fun if you plan on trying to drag him into anything else. Not that his credibility would be good after convictions and other stuff. But good luck with that. So that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. We got posts on that too. So check this out. This is a document. Give me 1 second. This will be 4 pages. It's warnings of sanction and threat to take issue to the judge. Right. Like I said, it is a 4-pager. 1 minute. Let me lock it in here. All right. So again, keeping along. This is item 7 in 4 pages. You see, it's noted 4 pages. So correct. So basically, you're saying there was no legal residence at, they give the address. That's why I rolled them. They give the address on it. You said there was nothing there on it. When you say it that way, correct. There was no home occupiable. Okay. We were told, we were told to rebuild. So do you understand that that means the county is condemning a structure when they do that? I mean, that's a key notation too. So she said that she's essentially said over and over again that there were houses on this property, you know, that that when she had it, there's always been some type of structure. But as you can see with this, that's not what is being stated with it. Give me a second. Even though that is not a whole address, I'm still going to take that out. It doesn't matter really, but I'm still going to remove it that way. Just give me 1 second with this. I don't like that being in there. It'll take me just a minute. I apologize for that, but I do try to cut them out, even though this is probably one of the most well-known places by this day anyway. Just give me a second here. Gosh, these people. I tell you, it is absolutely freaking amazing that you've seen a showcase like this. I mean, like I said, I've seen some crazy bullshit that has come up over and over and stuff. But what typically happens across this many depositions is that somebody usually gets stepped on for acting out. By now, you'd have a problem. All right, let me pull this back up here. Apologies for that. I said, it doesn't have a whole address or anything, but still, I don't like any address on my stuff. If I can help it, let me pull it back up now. Okay, here we are. See, there were two, so I'm going to knock them down. So again, starting that document up. So you're saying there was no legal residential structure that was occupiable at their address when you purchased it, correct? When you say it that way, correct. There was no home occupiable. When you say it that way, like there's 100 different ways to say it. Okay. We were told to rebuild. Do you understand that means a county is condemning a structure when they do that? Do you know that? She's like, they did not condemn it. To condemn it means they would have put a sign on it, condemned. They did not do that. Oh, wait, what? So they come out and they have to put a physical condemned sign. Let's ask you, does a county have to physically add a condemned sign to a building for it to be condemned? Which, I mean, when you think about it, sounds dumb. No, obviously not. No county does not strictly have to post a physical sign on a building for it to be legally condemned. Formal legal status of condemnation is determined by written official orders, board resolutions, county filings, not the presence of a sticker or a sign or whatever. Now, however, there can be codes that mandate that a placard or something be placed on something. But it's interesting just to have the, oh yeah, I need some leg warmers. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it? So she's like, no, they didn't condemn it. It takes a sign. They didn't do that. It's like, okay. So you're saying that the 3 houses at said address were never condemned by Levy County? Not to my knowledge. Oh, okay. How do you understand the word condemning something? I've seen properties that were condemned and they put a big red sign on it. It said, condemned, do not enter. She thinks in order to have a property condemned, it has to have a, quote, big red sign on it that says that it's condemned, do not enter. That's how she understands condemning a property. That's interesting, right? So we didn't have that happen on our property. I didn't ask you anything about a sign anywhere. How do you understand? No one told us it was condemned. Shockett's like, again, interrupted. You know what? Mr. Ransoram, one more time, and I'm going to stop this deposition, get the transcript, and take it to the judge. Now, this is important, by the way, because when this is noted, it doesn't say terminate the deposition. It's talking about you stop it, You take what's there and you take it to the judge, you know. You make a complaint to the judge about it. All right. So he's laid this out again, and this will be important in a few minutes. That's why I mention it, because the way that Lynette plays this all out, she plays it out like, well, he actually ended everything. I was good to go, and I just left. Which, again, is funny because her own counsel doesn't understand that she leaves. And you'll get to see it, which is so funny. I love it. But he's like, I can't do this. I simply cannot do this. We're going to have to get a special master in here that is going to start racking fines and sanctions on this every time this happens. It's 10:45 a.m. And this must have happened 5 times, despite your best effort at instructing this witness to wait until a question is fully completed before answering. So it's noting here, we've only been going for about an hour and change, and we've already had to do something about this 5 times. And that's despite you actually trying to keep it on track. You know, when we first saw some the behavior, like I fully expected Bruce to be out of control in certain cases, you know, and doing everything he can to interrupt on certain things. But this shows that Lynette, she is uncontrollable. Hey, JC, thanks for the tip. Shotgun needs an award for patience. Yeah, exactly. You can tell he's like, oh my God. Because again, he's been dealing with it now, and he's like, this, we're not doing this again. He's been through it before. I wouldn't want to. And he's not, is there anything you can do with her one more time? I can't do this. My fear is, this is the problem. First of all, we're wasting court reporter time. The flow of the deposition changes every time she does it. So Ramsaran, look, he tries to be nice about it, but he's also, he's like, look, I know you think this or that. It's like placating a child. It's awful. By the time, look, I take my 7-year-old now, and I tell her one time, hey, we don't do things like this. We do it this certain way. We also talk about respect, you know. Like little kids, you know how they get excited and they want to just blurt out everything or talk over people and tell them, hey, well, you've got to wait for a minute. You know, and she can do it. She can do it within 2, especially, even if on the most excitable days. She can body back, she'll raise her hand and stuff like that because she's little. But you know what I mean? If a little kid can do it, Lynette Preston should be able to do it. Should, that's a key word in that. But he's told, look, Ramsaran comes in and is like, Michelle, let him finish the question. I know you want to answer. I know you are anticipating, but this is not a conversation, though. You have to remember that. This is a deposition. And frankly, it's for your own benefit, honestly, in answering these questions, to do it that way. Let him finish, even if you know what he's going to say. Take a second. Give me an opportunity to reject as well if you need to. See, that's the other part of it as well. Like he said, it's for your benefit to complete it. Why? Because you're cutting your lawyer off from actually being able to object to anything that he thinks is out of bounds. I mean, it's wild when you consider that. They talk about their lawyers, and they talk about how their lawyers are basically not handling their business in the courtrooms, right? But it's, how can they? You could say something too. See, here's something, Michelle, like you don't think about this, but this is a very key item. You let your mouth run faster than your mind. And when that happens, you say things out of school that you probably shouldn't say. Now, that might be beneficial to the opposition there. But it's definitely not something that you yourself should be doing. So you need to keep that in mind. And when your own counsel is telling you that's a big one there. That's funny. I just heard a really funny story. A really funny one. Huh. Maybe Megan Fox will tell that one when she comes back. I just heard something really interesting. Very good. Anyway, so Shockett's like, right, your lawyer may want to object. So look, he's even telling her, your lawyer might want to do something that helps you. So maybe just, I don't know, tune it down a little bit. Just tone that down just a little bit there. So please look at me again. Look at me, ma'am. So again, she's looked away too. She won't look at him or anything. I mean, again, she acts like a petulant child. Good job, you caught the hand in the cookie jar. It's so wild. In spite of your best efforts, if this happens one more time, we're going to take this up with sanctions with the judge. Do you understand that? Yes, sir. Do you understand how important it is for? Yes, sir. You just interrupted what I was saying just now. Did you see that? See, look, you can see it right here. Even when they're setting it down and her lawyer has just said, hey, you got to control yourself a bit. She can't even let that part come out. Oh, it's so amazing. That's crazy to me. Oh, Lord. I said, do you understand how important? And then boom, yes, sir. You have no idea what I was going to continue saying. She said, you said, do you understand how important this is? I said, yes, sir. Look, it's on the record. This is how Lynette Preston is, by the way. This is why, Lynette, people don't trust you. Look, you have a party that is neutral. All they do is log what is stated. And look, you're caught lying about it. So, I mean, she lies in the moment when caught doing something. Again, that's why when you're like, I always tell the truth. You're like, no, you don't. I mean, shit, you get caught on record right here lying about this. And he's like, that's not what happened. And everybody knows it. Yeah, including the court reporter. Again, you can see it. Do you understand how important it is for? You interrupt on the word for. You don't let it all come out. I mean, you change how important this is instead of it is for. So it's just amazing. She just comes in and is like, that's not what happened. Oh, my. What's up, Andre? Yeah, exactly. It's like LP is allergic to the truth. Indeed. It's pretty wild, isn't it? I mean, no matter what happens. Mr. Landfill, ODD. Yeah, well, what's funny is when you look at diagnoses, right? Everybody is well, maybe not everybody. You could diagnose through the door. You could diagnose 75% of people just like that, with something. You can always find something. But you could diagnose probably anybody with anything. With Lynette, though, I wish we would just drop the labels sometimes and call people what they really are, It's like this. Since they use the analogy of dogs when they talked about biting the hand that feeds you, if we were talking about a dog, if you have aggressive behavior from a dog, we don't make excuses for it, regardless of where it comes from. The difference is, an animal, you know where that comes from. It comes from an owner. with people like this, they know better. They absolutely know better. They just don't care. And everybody's the bad guy. Everyone. So it's not just authority figures she has a problem with. It's anyone. I think it's because she probably has an overinflated image of self. But on top of it, she probably has that little person syndrome in her mind too. But anyway, so do you understand how important it is to a point where if you don't allow me to finish my questions, we're going to take this to the judge. I'm going to ask for sanctions again against you. Yes. Okay, so she agrees, by the way, that she understands that his behavior is potentially sanctionable. That she doesn't stop it, that they're going to take it to the judge and they're going to ask for something against her. So are you willing to stop interrupting my questions and wait until I'm finished before you answer them? Yes. So when you say under oath that 3 structures, like this is again, she talks about the 3 structures. And she, when she was talking about this too, I was telling you about how everything that he's done, it's combative and monstrous. As far as the 3 structure thing, I mean, she threw a fit about that too. It's just, it's all wild. She, look, this is the way that she stated all of this happened. But actually, let's read the rest of this, and I'll show you what she had to say. So when you say under oath that there are 3 structures that you say existed on the land when you purchased it, were not condemned by Levy County, is the reason why you're saying that simply because there was no sign saying condemned posted by Levy County? I'm saying it because prior to us buying it, there were people living on it. So it had not been, so it hadn't been, in my mind, condemned. I didn't see it condemned. Levy County told us we had to rebuild, simple. Did they say that you had to rebuild because the structures are condemned? No, he never used that word. And you are saying under oath that Levy County never condemned it. And the reason why you're giving this, A, there were people living there before you bought it, and B, there was no sign posted by Levy County. Is that right? No. I'm saying it because he never used the word condemned. That's why she's going to say that. Now, she actually brings this up, funny enough, in the aftermath. Give me a second here. She talks about the 3 structures. When I told him there were 3 houses on the property, he threw up his hands in the air and gave me this nasty look and said, "Oh, here we go now. There's 3 houses on the property." And then asked me why. I love her spin to everything. I love it. I can imagine Randy getting a little on the, oh my God. She continues with this too. Oh, I love all this. She said, he was trying to say that I had to explain to him about each house, why we couldn't live in it, what was wrong with it, and that we had gotten the property that I admit that it was not livable. What he's asking about homestead. That is the whole point and purpose of this. If you actually had a livable, like here, there would be on my property here. If I had something where I had to file away, I have my home. It is obviously a structure that we are living in. It is livable. So no muss, no fuss, right? No issues there. No argument with it. It's different when you're talking about the house and it's so odd though. She continues with this too. Let me see. Did she have something else to say on that? Give me 1 second. There's so many of her crazy statements on that. Like I said, what's amazing though is when I look through these screenshots, I'm not just looking. I don't just see her statements. You know what I see too? I see people that pretended to be her friends in the in all of these chats until 2L told them not to be. All right, check this out. So we have one more. Whoops. Let's go back to the main document first, and then we'll go to that. All right, so Exhibit 8, this is where termination happens, and you get to see it. Again, the detail is captured in it, and it's so funny because the court reporter managed to capture the essence of what transpired. Even though, like I said, I did not expect for the court reporter to actually be able to capture that. You know, it's very difficult to capture the attitude of something, you know, when something falls apart. So again, through that, I was thinking, well, I don't know if you could actually catch it, but it does. It very well does. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling something up about it. It just amazes me sometimes. Lord. All right, here we go. I had to recenter that real quick. So this is the deposition terminated due to continued disruption. It is 2 pages. Like I said, this is the best page out of all of them. You'll love it. So again, this is item 8. There were 8 exhibits that were attached to all this fun. So it starts off with, how so? My interpretation of the word. So tell us. We're here to understand your interpretation and evaluating your credibility. We're understanding. We want to understand how you understand promising something is different than agreeing to something. When you promise something, you tell them, Michelle, I promise you, I swear to God, I'm going to do this. That's not what happened. Well, how is an agreement different? An agreement is just say, hey, let's agree to this. I'll do this part. You do that part. That's it. So you don't swear to God? That's the difference? Yes. So you do understand a promise to be something you swear before on God. An agreement to do something is just saying you're going to do it. In my opinion, a promise and an agreement are 2 different things. So what did John Cook do in exchange for you paying $22,500? Now, again, this is where the question starts to roll to the ownership. You got to remember, first of all, she initially says on record that John wasn't supposed to be on anything. There was an accident that he got put on there. Then she says that he was supposed to be on there, but I mean, it goes back and forth. It's very strange how it goes. But here, you get to the question, well, what did John do in exchange for you paying that $22,500 for the property there? Did he promise to do something? No. Or it happened again. It happened again. I'm sorry. So you can see this is where Shockett actually talks about, we're done. That's it. We're done. We're absolutely done. We're going to move for sanctions and move to compel a special master here to control this witness in the future. We'll take it up with the court. So you can see right here, you have the 2 lawyers are talking back and forth. When she's saying he ended everything and it was okay for her to leave, she leaves in the middle of the lawyers speaking. Now watch. This is so amazing how this comes up. Just drink this in because it is so funny. So Mr. Shockett, you want to try it again? I think she's getting flustered. Maybe we can. And Shockett's like, she's not. She just left, by the way. Look, he doesn't know she's left. Like he's in the middle of talking. And Randy's like, nah, she's not flustered. Oh, yeah, by the way, she just bounced. And then Saran is like, Saran Wrap is like, wait, Michelle. So you can tell just from this little portion of it, you can see the confusion in her own lawyer. He doesn't know that Michelle has left the building. I mean, that is amazing when you think about it. Oh my God. I'm very proud of that part. Like, out of any of them, that really makes me laugh. Lord. I mean, you have to admit that is pretty awesome. He's like, wait, Michelle. Oh my God. And then Shockett is like, so we'll stop. I'll take his transfer. So look, she already left. So when she says it terminated, and then that's a lie. Her own attorney is caught on record showcasing that she just got up and left. She didn't allow her attorney to discuss it, try to pull in or rein it back in. Just walked out. So you talk about an out of control person on the stand. And remember, this is her bankruptcy. She brought it. She not only brought it, but she brought it because she wants to wipe out any of the costs that have come with, well, anything else. See, this is the funny thing about this is I have this feeling, again, that she fully expects to lose everything. And when you look at it with Hales, see, there's going to be people that look at that and say, well, if anything came up with that, with Hales, you know, there's a lot more money put in than out. Like, that's what the antis were laughing about. They're like, so it's okay if Michelle loses everything, as long as Jeremy Hales, it costs him more money. Like, that amazes me. And on top of it, if they would have left it in court, Michelle has no money. Like, there's collecting on her, good luck. But the way that they put it in, see, when they put this in the courtroom, they actually have a way for Jeremy Hales to collect on her. When they put this bankruptcy through, potentially as a creditor, he has a method where he can collect against the property itself. I mean, it's unreal. They caused this. Michelle Preston will never admit it, but she was party to losing her everything. Now, again, you can't take the blame away from her, but I'm going to say, like, the counsel that she got with that is absolutely stupid. I hope she preserved every letter, every email from the people that told her to go this route. I hope she preserved every email and letter where people promised her she was going to make a fortune off of everything. I hope that she preserved all of the communications with people like ThATuMBRELLAgUY, you know, where they also encourage her, because when I lose everything, I'd be looking at a way to, I'd be looking at, number one, I'd be looking at how to claw back my money. If 2L has any of your money left, I would be looking to figure out how to claw it back, whether that's in litigation later or in this. Potentially, bankruptcy courts have a lot of power. So I'd be looking at how to get my money, because it is her money. So I'd be looking at it, because, again, she owes X amount of money so far. Well, I'm going to say that there was more money than she definitely owes that was sitting out there. So, I mean, she definitely, after they probably take her property, and they take a significant chunk, because they're going to take 40% of anything that they recover, any assets. 40%, that's a fat stack, you know. But after the 40%, there's still, you know, then she's got to pay down something. But still, it's better than nothing. It's better than walking away with nothing. And I would claw it back simply for the reason that 2L has set out there and essentially talk shit about her over and over and over again. I would definitely claw back my money because of that or try to. I'm not saying she can do it for sure, but Lord, I would try. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can find something. Let's see. Find a discussion where the speaker talks about Preston biting the hand that feeds her. In a minute. I have a few discussions on that. Yeah, so it was on August 16th that I had that. So they talked about, yeah, that what's funny is they didn't use the word biting, by the way. They said attacking the hand. You know, pull the entire quote and the portion surrounding. One second, I'm going to read this to you. Like I said, set up a workflow. You just push in all of the transcripts and go over what exactly is stated. It's funny because, oh God, ThATuMBRELLA put up this thing talking about how all of this is bullying, using her own words as bullying. Now she can mention a person 75 fucking times in a live stream and or focus on a guy for 2 years and try to burn down his life, but my God, nope. So she said on there, she said, one of the things I want you guys to remember, when the donations stopped coming in to help out, it wasn't something any of us said. It was Michelle. She was in the chat one night, opened up her mouth at the wrong time. Lisa was trying to protect her, to keep her from putting her foot in her mouth. She kept going, and it immediately, and it stopped immediately and has never picked back up. Now, Lisa says, yeah, no one sent any donations. Again, it's all hers. It's all hers, baby. And since that day, it continues, it's been hard for me. It's been hard on Lisa to try to get anything out there as far as credibility anymore, because having back somebody that was attacking a hand that was feeding her didn't make sense. And there was a lot of people that rethink a lot of Lisa, and because Lisa stuck up for some of them, left the channel. Yeah. So what I remind everybody out there is that for the most part, I mean, I still pray for Michelle and John, because I want to see him get into a livable place. I want to see them see their child raised up, in a decent home and all of that. I never changed my mind, but I'm not as apt to go back there and volunteer too much because I don't want to get bit again. And I put a whole show up, by the way, explaining why I pulled away. I didn't pull away from how I felt about them. The only reason I did, I was told in no uncertain terms that it was better before I went in there to help, and she never asked for that help. Therefore, she's not going to get it, not in that manner. Huh. If I can help her out and give her advice about how to get a building built, I'll certainly give it. But I'm not going to stick my neck out anymore. Once, twice, that's enough. And a lot of people out there, they took that as I wasn't against Michelle. I'll tell you right now, I'm not against her. Yeah, I'm not against her. It's just fuck her when it comes to the building, right? Oh, my. It's crazy. They talk about how what's funny too is they talk about her being desperate and poor, how she doesn't have anything, and yet they talk about her struggle. I want to see her be able to do her thing. And she's out there right now trying to get a little bit of money together. And she's explained it a little bit. Until the bankruptcy's over, she can't do a lot. Because it might be that anything would come in and we'd get it taken away. So she doesn't know who to trust or to turn to. She's lost trying to get money. And it's like, these people have her money. What a fucked up game these people have played. What a fucked up game. They talk about her desperation, but they don't care, you know. If it was put into into AI, what kind of song would it make? Oh, it'd be funny. I think it'd make a funny song, actually. I think some of those would be really funny. What's funny, though, is let's see. So Fatty talked about something today, by the way. Put up a post about manipulated. Check this out. About manipulated harassment. Now, I thought this was funny coming from somebody who, again, claimed a person like myself, groomed a child through therapy to marry them, encouraged hundreds of people to go out and harass other folks, just flat out fucking comes up with fake shit like Megan Fox is part of a bond scam that went after her. Again, the school shut down, the obituary bullshit. You go on and on with this stuff, you know. But it's amazing the victimhood, because it feels like this person is describing themselves. False narratives. Oh man, false narratives, huh? I wonder where those come from. I mean, we'll have this person. They don't do any research. I mean, sometimes it's as easy as a chat member says something, and that makes it real. False narratives. How many things have we seen talked about Jeremy Hale? Holy shit. I mean, it's just unreal. They created an essay narrative that was absolutely insane. Just unreal. Staged. It's staged. Yeah, if they say something and you talk about, oh my God, it was set up. Look at these AI narratives too. Well, it's so fucking ridiculous. They're like, I'm going to ask AI. Oh my God. Third party harassment. Yeah. You know, here's a good example of that. When you tell people like Megan Fox contacted your landlord, that you have her number doing it and you have other proof, and you whip them up into such a frenzy that they start pulling up her address and her phone number. Yeah, that's third party harassment. Or when you tell people to contact, like, I don't know, my ex-mother-in-law, that would be third party harassment. But hey, and that's gone on and on. You know, these folks do. Let's see some other examples. Digital manipulation. Oh yeah, creating fake screenshots. Where have we seen someone do that? Oh, when they stuck a screenshot between myself and Megan Fox, where until Rumble Studio actually allowed you to put in like scripting between two people, that was not even you can't even do that. All the stuff, like for myself, I typically 99% of the time I use, unless there's a Rumble attachment to it, I use StreamYard. StreamYard, you can't do that. So it's funny. You know, they took something and they manipulated, created fake screenshots, but deep fakes. It's also funny that a person that helped promote a video where Jeremy Hales and Megan Fox, well, there's a lawsuit about that now. It's really weird. With somebody's talking about fake images, deep fakes, or fake accounts. Are you talking about like people like Leslie? Holy shit, that woman has how many accounts? We just pulled up a fake Lynette Preston account. It's so bizarre. Gaslighting. Oh yeah, gaslighting, where they question their own reality. Oh wow, that's these people in a nutshell. That's just, they will poppy seeds. I think that was the perfect example of it. Oh, they come up with an excuse for poppy seeds. No. It was actually created by other people because they were saying that a person was a heroin user. No. Actually, that's not what, it's like, are you kidding me? You people insane. It's so bad. It makes them isolated. It creates toxic online communities. Yeah. I mean, these people, it's like they describe themselves. Oh, nuts. Anyway, I was going to go over the other documentation too today, but I don't think we have time. I mean, if we were just talking about a short document, that would be one thing. But these are 27-page documents. So, they are monstrous documents. So yes, we got time tomorrow. So let's go over some super chats and we'll be done for the night. I don't want to take on a 27-page document tonight. That sounds like a lot of work. We'll be here all night trying to go over that thing. Take us 4 more hours. So Judy, thank you for the gold coin. Thank you. Max Lad, thanks for the 2 there. Just cut my hair or my own hair for the first time. Well, good luck with that, brother. I've tried that before. I'm lazy about haircuts. I'm just like, who cares? I hate paying for it. I don't like to pay for the kind of stuff. Just in reality. I remember back in the day, you remember those Flobies, the things they would hook to a vacuum cleaner, cut people's hair? Gotta miss those. Those were really fun. I had a friend that had a Flobie. It was kind of awesome. He'd stick it on his head. That was so cool. Linda, thank you for the silver star. Thank you, Linda. Huggy Bee, thank you for the treat there. Thank you, Huggy Bee. Hey, Emmy dropped 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Emmy. That is much appreciated, by the way. Very much appreciate you. It's good to see those two. Love them. Thank you. Huggy Bee dropped a silver star. Thank you, Huggy Bee. Laura dropped a gold coin. Thank you there. Robin dropped a silver star. Woohoo. Catherine dropped that high 5. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Thank you there. Appreciate that. Jada dropped 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Jada. Again, gifted memberships are great. They send a really positive message to people. Love it. And I very much appreciate you all doing that. Thank you. Huggy Bee, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, Huggy Bee. Jill dropped a thumbs up as well. Thank you, Jill. Appreciate you. Ralph dropped a gold coin. Thank you, Ralph. Smoking Cats dropped some shit. Thank you there. 2012, thanks to the Megan. It's like Negan from The Walking Dead. Only Megan is traveling fund. Indeed. It's so funny. I mean, the way that they whipped up this conspiracy about Megan and traveling, they noted that she called for a runner and now she's traveling. Therefore, oh my God, she's coming for us. It's like, wait, what? What? They have decided that Megan's coming for them. It's really funny. Just right off out of nowhere, I thought that was pretty amazing. Oh my God, she's taking a trip, and she called. The runner thing. By the way, the runner thing is just a norm. You do it in a lot of prep for trials or when you're looking up documents. If you want to, there are some jurisdictions, in fact, that you have to have a runner because of certain state laws. But if you want to pay and you want to get something right away, you ask people that live in the area, hey, can you go over there and drop this money off? That way we're not waiting for a document for, say, 2 weeks, 4, however long. They don't get to drag ass because especially certain counties out there, well, let's just say their connections, yeah, they might drag ass on purpose. So I thought it was funny though. Sister Sal. What's up, Sister Sal? Thank you. Also, 5 gifted memberships. That's awesome, man. 15 memberships, just like a love it. Thank you, Sister Sal. Thank you, Jada. And also thank you, Emmy. All of you again. I love seeing those in, so thank you for that. OG Lee. What's up? The OG Lee. Thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership and welcome to Tugs Thugs. The OG Lee. I like that. I like anything. I have like a, I don't know, a need for rhyming schemes and stuff. So I just gotta love that. Robin, thank you for the silver star. Appreciate you. Fallen Hero. What's up, man? Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for the 5. Hello, everyone. Well, hello there, my friend. Hello there. Ralph. What's up, Ralph? Thanks for the gold coin. Appreciate you, Ralph. 2012. Hey, happy birthday. Janine, get your cake on. Well, man, not only get your cake on, but you know what else you have to have? You have to have a birthday song. So let's whip one of those up. I had to put my headphones back on.
Happy, happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy, happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy, happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy, happy birthday. Here's to another year.
Love it. Appreciate you. Hope you've had a great one. If not, you get a do-over. Whole week. Telling you. Tell everybody. If you didn't have a birthday week too, only a day celebration, you tell people I'm more valuable than a day. I deserve an entire month. You should tell people that, actually. Enjoy it. Really celebrate yourself. Now, thank you for the happy poop. Appreciate that. Thank you. JC, thanks for that 20 there. Yeah, we talked about that, but I wanted to note this again with the video. I think he would love to have video every time something comes up. And yes, I very much agree with you that it would be great if that were possible every time. And I'm sure if it were possible, he would have video in there. I'm very sure. Because yeah, her delivery, I think it would come across better. But luckily, with all of this stuff, they've got a hearing coming up. Again, it comes up Tuesday. So that'll be fun. What's up, Mom? Thank you for the silver star. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Anna, thank you for the 100. Thank you there. Woe is me. Thank you for the floating heart. Thank you. Woe is me. Much appreciated. 2012. Thanks for the 2 there. All coaching must be done before the depot, y'all. Well, thank you for the y'all. But yes, you should be sitting down and discussing all of your answers and everything. A proper attorney will go over all the questioning and really, what you should or shouldn't say. They'll tell you. They'll tell you how you should answer. And what I mean by that is they'll take out the emotional, because you do get emotional in answer. Like that's not the problem with Lynette. I understand being emotional. I get it. It's an adversarial thing. It's funny when Jeremy Hales got emotional. They called him a bully and a monster because you have a guy that said that he wanted to destroy Jeremy Hales' empire. Sitting there and actually getting to ask him questions. But they applauded that. But with Lynette Preston, it's bullying and more. Isn't that interesting? Weird how that works, isn't it? So 19, thank you for the guitar. Appreciate that. I saw that one come in too. That looked awesome. Thank you. 1,000 jewels and a guitar. Appreciate you. JC, thanks for the 2. Like you said, none of LP's problems are a problem. Yes, indeed. They're always someone else. Sandy, thank you for the cold coin. Thank you, Sandy. JC, so thanks to LP, Beryl. She attacks everyone without exception. Yeah, it feels like I'd be curious who she has never gone after. I'd love to hear from somebody that has contact with her if she's never gone after you. I would, because it seems to be something that comes from everybody. And it motivates people who would just walk away typically. You know, if you kick somebody enough, they're going to turn on you. They will. You show them who you are. You know, when these people try to walk away from these folks, they do some horrible stuff. Emmy, thanks for the 5 there. Not only does she not know her name, that's true. She doesn't know how to spell them. I know it's crazy, isn't it? 2012, thanks for the 2. Let's make Tug pretty. Yeah. Tug, touche. There, now it's pretty. Isn't that pretty? You add the E. You could add the T. You could add the TUEG. Silent E. That's what we need. Yeah. Thank you for the 2. Please be safe. Indeed. Hey, thank you too. Appreciate it. I am out here where I live because I'm not worried about any of these people. We have some big mouth brazen weirdos. They run that mouth and say they're going to do X, Y, or Z. Well, like I said, I live in the deep south. I don't worry about them. I absolutely don't care at all. 2012 brought up a very good point too. When I said that she had accused all of the men that she had been around of terrible things, she also has accused women as well. So she has left a long, long list of people that she has accused of terrible things. And again, the problem with that is after a while, it starts to bring up some rather interesting questions about why all of these people are surrounding yourself. You know, how do you end up with these? If all of that is true, how do you end up with all of these child predators around you? It's just crazy. Simba, thank you for the hiding there. Thank you, Simba. I like your dog there. It's cute. JC, thanks for the 2 there. You know what I like too? I love my pets. Even though I have odd pets, I love them. I love my snakes and my snakes live, but they'll live a long time. You know, some of them can live 20, 25 years. So they live a long time. I love my giant centipede. You know, I love my pets, and I love like other pet. I love how people are proud of their pets. You know, their family. I also I like seeing people like parents too. You know, before I was a parent, you know, you'd see people talk about things. They're like, oh, yeah, man, I've become an emotional softie as a parent. So it's funny. I keep a billfold full of little pictures that are drawn for me, and oh Lord, it's just kind of funny. I say that because, like I said, I see people's animals, you know, their family. That's their family members, and I appreciate it. I love it. JC, thanks for the 2. Shock, it needs an award for patience steering LOP's depots. I very much believe that. I mean, Lord, you have to dealing with these people. They would try they'd try the patience of anyone. It's just unreal sometimes. Andre, thanks for the 2. It's like LP is allergic to the truth. Yes, it feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? Joyce, thanks for the floating heart. Thank you, Joyce. Appreciate you there. Hey, what's up, Sister Sal? Thanks for the 2,500 jewels. And the Bravo. I've never seen the Bravo before today, too. So thank you. When I'm by myself, too, I get to see them come in because I pay more attention to the chat. So thank you for that as well. Followed that up, too, with a 680 jewel nap. Yeah, I could use one of those after this. I'm going to cash out. And well, it's been a crazy week, you know, when I'm on every day, But when I'm on my own channel every day, it really sticks out to me how much live streaming I do. You know, which again, compared to other jobs out there, I am very fortunate. I am not complaining in the slightest. It just amazes me. Sometimes I don't think about how much streaming I do until if I'm on my own channel, like right now. It's like, wow. I don't think I've taken a break in months. And it's hard to, man, with this stuff. Like there's always something that tomorrow I got to catch up those documents or they'll be behind and we'll never catch them up. So, you know, and it's good. I'm glad that we have mobility on these cases because the other side of it is boring. Most cases are slow. I mean, these cases have been slow, but there's a lot of them. We may have another one come in again. If we actually have 2L pop a case with Megan, again, making it clear, I'm not wishing lawsuits on anybody, but at the same time, God, the entertainment value of that alone will be amazing. It will be a majestic beast, a $5,000 too, or a majestic beast. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how crazy and stupid that is. Sister Sal, oh man, a butterfly as well. Thank you for the 450 jewels with the butterfly too. Thank you for those, Sister Sal. Appreciate that. Because I've never seen some of them. So, you know, that's one of the cool things with that too. I like to see them like pop up. 2012 asked a good question with if the depo transcript was put into AI, what song would it make? A very funny one. A very funny one. Sister Sal, oh, you dropped 350 jewels. The finger heart. The finger hearts are cute. Those my daughter makes those. My youngest, she loves to do like half finger heart. She likes to hold up her fingers, and she's like, "Dad, let's make a heart." So you know, she has her little bitty hand, and I when I put my side of the heart up there, it's huge compared to it, but it's cute. She loves doing that. Also, Sister Sal dropped a mystery gift, 650 jewels there. Thank you again, Sister Sal. And drop that sunshine. Not too much singing from me, I swear. Thank you for the 200 jewels, the sunshine. That's cool. I appreciate it. I like it too because it entertains the chat. Those are cool as well. Jeff, thank you for the sparkles. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, Jeff. Sister Sal dropped a sun balloon. I'd never seen that one either. So that was cool. Thank you for the 500 jewels and the sun balloon. Thank you. Appreciate you, Sister Sal. Very much so. I have questions. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for those thumbs up there. Appreciate you. Greg, thank you for the gold coin. Thank you, Greg. Mr. Coop, thanks for the 5. Little Jeremy was the bomb. Awesome job tonight, Ton. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate you too, man. You know, I like Mr. Coop. Mr. Coop's a lot of fun. I do like Little Jeremy. I'm going to play him again at the end of the song. I'll probably play him for a few days. So I was lazy about the graphic. I didn't have all day long to sit down. Man, it may not seem like a lot, but getting a good AI, like moving around, I thought him on stage dancing was just fun. So I may do another one there. I may, I like the idea of that. You know, what's funny is John Cook is he was the catalyst for all of that. You know, you realize that John Cook was the catalyst for all the songs that we see, because the first time we popped off songs, it was the joke about wanting to see John Cook as a rapper. That's what started all of the rapper joke stuff. I mean, I've been using AI for a bit longer than that to play around, and they have gotten much better. I will have to say too. Jeff, thanks for the thumbs up. Thank you, Jeff. Huggy B, you dropped the sparkles and the chilies. Thank you, Huggy B. Appreciate you. Astrid, thank you for the thumbs up there. Thank you, Astrid. Melissa, thank you for the high 5. Bam. Thank you. Appreciate that. Frankie, thanks for the 10. Can you give an update on Only Me emails? Like what kind of update? What do you want to know? that that he thinks that he thinks that being told to call the police is gaslighting and manipulation. Oh Lord, I don't know. It's like this, man. I'm to the point with these people who gave money and stuff. If they don't act on their own, what can you do? I mean, they've said enough words publicly that it's a real problem for sure. But the final step for all of these folks is they have to contact the police. I mean, that's the issue. But ultimately, I think some people like attention. So, that's fine. They can complain and whine or whatever. It'll be in a couple of months when the other day she was talking about how he's to blame for everything. He ruined her reputation. He attacked her and all that. So, I don't know. It just never stops. But until these folks, they actually go to the police and do something about it, then there's nothing that will happen. I, for the life of me, do not understand why you wouldn't. If you've watched, I would have a concern if I watched my my stuff be misused. I'd be pissed is what I would be. I'd be really pissed. But I also wouldn't like the fact that ultimately that stuff, if something would have happened, and I mean this for all donors, if something would have actually happened and there was building there, that there would be no way that she could lose her property. So the project not going forward quite literally meant that there was no homestead, which means if the property is lost, that it boils down to that simple fact. I think you sue the shit out of the person that did it to you, but yeah, there's your update. It's a whole lot of nothing. Annie, thank you for the Sunday there. Thank you, Annie. Appreciate you. And Hazel Monte Ingle, thanks for the 5. Woo, I'm home. It's 3:45 a.m. Can't sleep. That is great, first of all. I'm glad not that you can't sleep, but you're home. Everybody give some love to Hazel Monte Ingle, because I know the hospital was keeping you because of the blood pressure concerns, but you being home is amazing. That's great. Your BP is still low but stable. Can only get better. Well, that is also a very positive outlook too. And you know what? If it's staying stable, even if it is low, that's awesome after surgery. So you've got your replacement too. You said that was doing good. That is great news. But yeah, everyone also keep Monte Ingle, I love saying it all together, in your prayers too. It's for real. Love to you for that. See if I missed anyone else real quick. I don't see anything there. Now at the end of this, I'm going to redirect you to Flashcast. Now, I will put the caveat on there. If you love the crazy and the fun online, go enjoy it. But they will talk about social topics. They will talk about politics potentially. If you get offended by stuff, that ain't the place for you. But if you want to go over and laugh at real stupid sometimes on the internet, and not just that, you want to just have a place that you can cut loose and be as crazy as you want, that's a place for you too. But let's do a little straight out Otter Creek again first. Here we go on that. Give me a second. Here we are. Little Jeremy.
Straight out of Otter Creek. Put my name on signs, now you don't want to speak. 14 racks just to shift that blame. Bought an expert just to say my name. 14 bands, that's some expensive PR. Got channel success. Yeah, I sell the best. Got Preston and compressed. Promise the barn, promise the bitch. And good Lord, have you seen that fence? 14 grand for an expert witness. Pick one course, keep saying they ain't handling business. Says that's my writing. Man, that's cute. Spent $14,000. I still got the proof. Best look like shredded cheese nailed on the sticks. Garbage bag top just flapping in the wind. Garbage man quit, took up piracy. Captain Hefty selling the SS Swiss cheese. And what's up with those ED signs, John? Where's the barn? Don't know. Where's the stain? Don't know. Seriously, where's the barn though? Where'd it go? 56 grand. Poof. Now you see it. Now you don't. That's one heck of a magic show. Straight out of Creek. Put my name on signs. Now you don't wanna speak. 14 racks just to shift that blame. Bought an expert just to say my name. 14 bands, that's some expensive PR. Got channel success, got receipts in the street. Captain Hefty selling on the SS Swiss cheese. Promised the barn, still ain't on the bench, but they got an expert in a shredded cheese fence. Straight out of Creek.